Hey, what's going on, party people? This your man Griff here doing a in the bag. I really wasn't going to do one because there's so many people that have done these, and I think all the equipment is pretty much basically the same. Mine's going to be a little bit different because I'm also going to talk about what's in my car because stuff in the car is very, very important. So talk about that also. So in my bag. First of all, the bag itself is called a Lifewit, Lifewit, 17-inch messenger bag. It's by the company Lifewit, and it's basically a military tactical messenger bag. Very durable. I know I've had this well over a year. Haven't had any problems with the seams ripping or anything. At all. I will say, well, one time I think I had one small rip, very small rip in there, and since I know how to sew, I was able to stitch it back up. Got some good thread, double stitched it up, and actually haven't had any problems with it ever since. The Velcro is good, no issues with that. The Velcro hasn't been fraying and falling apart. I mean, that's all still intact. None of the threading around the Velcro is out. So this bag is great. I prefer black. I did have a leather messenger bag, but the leather messenger bag actually not necessarily fell apart. It just seemed like it just couldn't hold up to the weight of the documents and stuff in there. It held everything, but it just didn't seem like, it held up to the weight and the throwing around and all of that. So I went with this, and I haven't had any problems at all. Plenty of space for everything that I need, more than enough space. So I mean, I can actually hold 4 sets of loan documents in here. Actually, for two for 2 signings, I can put 4 in here with my clipboards. Now, yes, the bag is heavy, but I can put all of that in here and haven't had any problem. So I'm gonna start from the back, work to the front of everything that I have in my bag. I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that you have to have this or that it's essential or that it's going to make your life as a mobile notary all that much easier or it's going to be the game changer to get you to $5,000 a week or anything like that. But it's just stuff that I found for where I'm at that helps me to accommodate my clients. And one of the things I will say with whatever you have in your bag, it needs to support where you're at. So if you're in the cold weather, you need to have cold weather stuff, warm weather, so forth and so on. If you're in areas that have dry heat and things of that nature, you may need to have stuff in there for yourself for that. So it's not just for the client, but also for yourself. You just may need to have whatever you need. So it's not indicative of like, okay, this is what Griff got, everybody, we're gonna do the same thing. I'm not saying that. So couple of things I have in here. One of my best friends is right here, the booties for the shoes, because you walk into somebody's house, they may say take off your shoes, and you're like, okay, can I put these on? And sometimes they don't even want you to put the booties on. They're like, no, take your shoes off. So I take the shoes off and then I put the booties on my feet. Okay, that's what I do. But these here, you can get them off of Amazon. I'll put links in the description down below. Please keep in mind that none of these links are affiliate links, so I don't get paid for anything that y'all buy. That's not how I roll. I understand others do that, but that's just not the way I operate. Trying to get y'all to buy stuff so I can get paid. I don't do that, and I'm not making a slight. I just want to be clear so people, because I know in the past sometimes people, not recently with us, but other times I've done stuff. People like, oh, well, you putting a link in there and you going to get money off of that. And some people get skittish and then they try to divert using the link and then try to buy something without the link and then they wind up getting the wrong thing and then they mad. So I don't do affiliate links at all. So don't think that anything you buy, I'm getting anything, or anybody who I link in there sponsoring what I'm doing. I haven't asked anybody to sponsor, not going to ask anybody to sponsor. However, if they decide on their own, I'll take the money. It's that simple. But I'll link the description, link it in the description below. I have the booties. All right. So next, I have wipes. Okay. Just put a new set in there because the other set was going down. So I have wipes, really doesn't matter. And I have wipes for a particular reason, you know, mainly to wipe the pins and my boards, but I have wipes. All right. One of the other things I have, battery backup, okay? Battery backup for my cell phones, just in case. Never know, might need it. I ain't gonna throw that. Hand sanitizer, napkins, paper towels, and have a little log book. One of my best friends here, that's right, portable light. Takes batteries as well as USB. Reason why I use batteries, because I can't never find my USB cord for it. It's just that simple. But the light comes with 3 power levels, low, medium, high. And I'm gonna tell you, this comes in handy. I'll link it in below, called Ideal Works. And the only thing I don't like about it, I don't like that noise. Okay, I really don't like that noise. But other than that, it's great because sometimes you go into people's house and they have little low light situations, trying to always be sexy in the house. I don't know what the deal is, but you go in there and it's like they only got 1 light bulb. And this works out real well when you are doing a signing. It also came in handy when COVID first started. People had me outdoors. It was warm. I don't mind being outdoors in the warmth. But it was at dusk and it got dark pretty quick, and I had to use the light in order to sit there on the back of somebody's tailgate and sign the docs. So the light works. So in the main section of the bag, I have notepad, notary journal, but I'm getting ready to switch from this one, the standard one, over to what is called the Integrity Notary Journal. I'll link it in the description below. It has what they call a single view, because that way when you're going through it, it only shows the people who you're working with. It doesn't allow them, the people who's signing, to see other folk. And I have noticed that people sit there and start trying to read the notary journal, so you got to sort of get that back from them. And I'm starting to use this. I actually bought 5 of them, so has the dates, all of that. Very good journal, good instructions on the inside. I'm gonna start using it at the first of the year. Not gonna fill this one all the way out, but I'm still just gonna keep using that one to the end of the year, and then I'm gonna switch over to this one. So I'll link that in the description below. And I have my calendar, so I can keep tabs of all of the assignments that I have, so I can look at them real quick without having to always pull up the stuff on the phone. I have 3 clipboards. I use metal, the aluminum ones, because with the COVID, you want to be able to at least wipe them off, and that's what the wipes that I throw over there on the floor for, wiping off the clipboard as well as the pens. But if you notice, you should see I have a little springy thing that holds the pens. All right, this little springy thing is real nice. It sticks onto the board, and it's a way I can just slide the pins on there, hand the board to the people. Also keeps your pins from walking off. And I found out this little springy thing here is a very good distraction for clients. For whatever reason, they like playing with it. They like to sit there, play with it. Sometimes they play with it too much, and to the point that they stretch it all the way out. So when you buy them from Amazon, which I link it in the description below, you get 10 of them. All right, so that's what you got there, clipboards. Clipboards, I have those. And inside, there's an inside pocket on here, and actually there's 2 inside pockets inside this bag. So you have the main compartment, and then you have an inside pocket, and then you with 3 inside pockets. You got 3 inside pockets, and then in one of the inside pockets, I have my receipt book for my general notary work. Then I have a folder full of all-purpose acknowledgement forms. Just never know when you might need one. Then going in toward the front section, I have My body temperature, yep, I'm cool, all right, 96.2. So I have that. I have extra mask, gloves, business cards, and any other little thing. All right. What else I got in there? Nothing else in there? What else? Yep, that's nothing. All right. Then going to the front part, that's why I like this bag. This here is perfect, and depending on the type of notary stamp you have, for these types, a little thing with the little double switchy thing on there for the ink, notary stamp, that fits perfectly in there. The middle pocket, I have a bag full of paper clips because sometimes I gotta do the tag, the document setup and prepping on the go. I also have my essential oil in case I'm in a place that needs essential oil, my nose needs to have something better to smell than what I'm actually smelling. Put a little bit on the mustache. Again, I don't know how it will work for people who don't have a stash, but it works good for me because I got a stash. All right. Then I have my additional flags and everything, arrows and stuff to point to tell people what to sign and where not to sign. Then I have in this bag, which I love because it's just the right length, I have my pens. I normally keep about 6 blue pens and about 5 black pens. And in addition, because I use the 0.5 G2 gel pen, because that 0.5, which is extra fine point, is able to get deep into those little tiny corners on some of them documents and allow the person to sign. In my opinion, if you use a medium point, the ink comes out too thick and it doesn't dry quick enough for when you're flipping the documents over. Or you put the documents behind another document and then you get little ink stains on the document in the front. So I use the 0.5 because the extra fine point and it works real good. However, there are some people who can't write with an extra fine point and it's tough for them. So I also have a 0.7, which is a fine point. So the 0.5 is extra fine point. The 0.7 is fine point, and the fine point tends to work very well with people, especially people who are left-handed, because they tend, some of them, not all, when they write, they tend to turn that wrist a little bit more, whereas right-handed people do this way. They tend to do it a little bit more, and that pen is at an angle where they're not getting a lot of ink flow. But when I give them the medium point, the fine point, that works great for them. And then lastly, my last pocket over here, I have eye drops, just in case, because sometimes my eyes get tired looking at documents. I have Q-tips. I have no idea why. I have rubber bands that I don't even use. Flash drive. Then I have my square card reader, because if I'm out doing general notary work and somebody wants to pay me via card, I have that. I have eyeglass cleaner. I have scissors. Just never know what you might need to cut. And I got, oh, there it is. Looking for that. And I got money. I don't know why I got quarters in there and stuff, but I have it. I have magnifying glass. The reason why I have a magnifying glass is because when you're doing reverse mortgages and even regular mortgages, but a lot of time with reverse mortgages, you're working with somebody who's a senior citizen and their eyesight may not be that good. And you do not want them signing all over the document because they're looking here, and you think they're looking here, but they're looking up there and they wind up signing in the middle of the thing. So I have a magnifying glass. When I first started 2.5 years ago, I can't remember who, but somebody was talking about things that notaries can do when it comes to reverse mortgages. And they said, have a magnifying glass. So I have a magnifying glass. I would prefer the rectangle one because I think it works better, so they can see the whole, mostly the page, and it's just better, rectangle, like this rather than circular. I just haven't gone back to get one. I went and got this from the dollar store, and it works fine. And then I use my little lens cleaners to keep this here clean. So that's all the stuff that's in my bag. Now, what I have in the car, some kind of air freshener for my clothes. This here is Tide antibacterial fabric spray, smells real good. Why do I have that? Because sometimes you go into people's homes and they have some cigarette smoke. They smoke, and smoke. And you're in there and you come out smelling like their house. So whether it's Febreze, it's Tide, something, you need that. And I spray myself down with that coming out of there. Sometimes I might spray a little touch on the outside of my mask. But most of the time I have plenty of mask, so I just get rid of it. We get rid of the mask. Another thing that I have, moving blanket. You say, why do you need a moving blanket? The purpose of the moving blanket, one is to protect the material, you know, to protect your car, especially if you got leather seats. You're putting your bag in there, whatever else you might have. But it also serves as a way to hide stuff. So having a mobile printer, I pull out, I have these here, and I have several of them in the car, and I put the moving blanket on top of, over top of my printer and everything that's in the trunk of the SUV. So it's pretty big. So I have that. Also, I fold it the long slender way like this, and then I lay it across the back seat so that, you know, if I put my bag there, the bag isn't messing up or tearing up. Not that the bag would, but you just never know. So I put that over top. However, by this being black on top of, especially if it's black leather, the interior is black, I can also take documents and I hide the documents under there, because you can't, let's just be real. Sorry about that. You are out there doing 3-4 signings and you got these FedEx packages. You then like, okay, I gotta, if you don't have a trunk, if it's open, you can put your documents underneath that and hide them. Sorry about that. Yep, hey, I'm just being real here. All right, this last one. I keep this in the car because I've been in situations where nature calls and I could not find a place that was open, especially when COVID hit. Everywhere was closed and I could not go anywhere. And this helps when you're out in the street. This here, I'm gonna have to show you for the men. I'm just gonna show it. Y'all see it, read it. It's a little bag to help out when nature calls. All I'm gonna say is they work. All right, you need that description below. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It is what it is, people. Sometimes you need a little something to put something in, and that comes in handy. And in my area, sometimes I'm way out there in the country, and there's no stores, there's no gas stations, and it's just you and everything, you know. So that's enough said about that. So that's the stuff that's in my bag. I do sometimes interchange things depending on the season, but for the most part, those are the items that are in my bag. They come in handy, they help out. Do what you need to do to make sure that you have the stuff that you need. I can't say that one thing is more important than the other. To me, as long as it's the stuff that you need, it's important to you, and that's what counts. So thanks everybody. That's what's in my bag and in my car. Oh, let me share this also about the car. I also keep extra clothes in the car. Yes, I do keep extra clothes. Not pants, but shirts, jackets, skull caps, just in case, because of that cigarette smoke. Because I've been in a situation where I've gotten cigarette smoke all into my clothes, and then I go to somebody else's house and I'm smelling terrible. And sometimes the Febreze or whatever just isn't good enough to get that smoke, that strong smoke out. So I have those extra clothes in there for that reason. All right. So I don't know how long this video was. Doesn't matter. You got the information. All right. Talk to you later, party people. Peace.